All right, today we're diving into a pretty incredible story about a new AI that is seriously shaking things up and taking on the giants of the industry. And believe me, this isn't just about tech. It's a story about power, privacy, and what this all could mean for you.
So let's start with the big question, right? The one that's probably on your mind too. Is all this AI stuff a threat to your career, or is it maybe the biggest opportunity of our lifetime? I mean, we're at this crazy turning point, and honestly, how you answer that question could change everything. The real choice is, are you just going to watch this unfold, or are you going to jump in and be a part of it?
To really get a sense of how massive this is, let's just rewind a bit. Think back to the dot-com bubble in the 2000s. The people who got in early, who understood computers and the internet. Well, they created incredible wealth. What we're seeing right now with AI, it's that all over again. It's the new gold rush. You've got investors, governments, everyone just pouring money into this space, creating these huge opportunities for anyone who can figure out how to use this tech.
And right in the middle of this whole explosion, a really interesting challenger has stepped into the ring, an AI called Claude.
So what exactly is Claude? Well, it's what's known as a large language model. It comes from a company named Anthropic, which was started by Dario Amodei, and their whole mission was to build an AI assistant that's not just super capable, but also, and this part is key, really trustworthy.
Now, here's where things get wild. How did Claude even get on the map? It wasn't by, helping people write emails or plan their vacation. The first whispers we heard about Claude were connected to some really high-stakes stuff. We're talking about unverified reports claiming the Pentagon was using it to help with a raid in Venezuela and even to identify bombing targets in Iran. Now, whether those stories are 100% true or not, that's how the world was introduced to Claude, as this incredibly powerful, serious piece of technology.
And having that kind of power, well, it leads to some pretty dramatic moments. And that brings us to a huge turning point, a real showdown over user privacy that completely changed the game for everyone in the AI world.
Okay, so here's the heart of it. A pivotal moment. The story goes that U.S. authorities came knocking and asked both companies for access to their user data, and their alleged responses couldn't have been more different. Anthropic, the makers of Claude, reportedly said, "Nope, we're not sharing our users' private data." Meanwhile, reports claim that OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, said, "Yes, we'll comply."
And the fallout from that? Oh, it was immediate and it was huge. For a ton of users, this felt like a major betrayal of trust. The numbers are just staggering. In the 48 hours after this news broke, ChatGPT reportedly lost 1.5 million subscribers. Gone.
So where did all those people go? Well, a lot of them went straight to the alternative that stood for privacy, Claude. Just look at these numbers. Their daily app downloads went from a few hundred a day to a peak of 160,000. That's not just a spike. That is a massive wave of people making a choice based on trust. Okay, so with this huge surge in popularity, people started to uncover what makes Claude so special. What are these superpowers that everyone was flocking to? Let's break down how people are actually using this thing to get ahead.
And you know what? Getting started is ridiculously easy. There's a Chrome extension, you just search for it, click Add to Chrome, and bam, you're done. From that moment on, you can go to any website and it'll analyze it, summarize it, and pull out the key info for you. Think about the hours of reading and research that saves. It's a game changer.
But summarizing websites is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, think of it more like your personal work hub. People are using it for everything. We're talking managing those Gmail inboxes that have hundreds of unread emails, designing professional-looking thumbnails by hooking it up to Canva, and get this, even coding entire websites for small businesses. It plugs right into Excel and Google Sheets to crunch complex data, it sets meetings in your calendar, and can even help with things like analyzing your stock portfolio. It is an absolute productivity machine.
So let's look at a real-world example. Here's a prompt someone gave it. They said, okay, act like a content writer for me. I need a piece on where AI is headed by 2030 and whether it's a threat to jobs right now. And yeah, you can search the web to get your facts straight.
And check out what it came back with. It's not just some fluffy paragraph, it's a structured, data-rich report. It pulled real numbers. The AI market is projected to hit $1.8 trillion. It found analysis suggesting 170 million new jobs will be created, while 92 million might be displaced. It even pulled recent news about 55,000 layoffs attributed to AI. It gives you the hard data, all laid out, so you can see the whole picture for yourself.
So let's bring this all back. What does this actually mean for you, for your career? The takeaway here is pretty simple. Learning how to use AI isn't just a cool skill to have anymore. It's quickly becoming a flat-out necessity.
And I'm not talking about some distant future, like 2030. This is happening right now, today. Remember those 55,000 layoffs we just saw? That's real. Companies are already making decisions, they're letting people go who aren't getting on board with this stuff, and they are actively looking for and promoting the ones who do have AI skills.
There's a saying going around that just hits the nail on the head. AI won't take your job, but someone using AI will. And that's it, right there. This technology is a tool, a ridiculously powerful one. The real threat isn't the AI itself. The threat is being left behind by the person next to you who learns how to use that tool to do the work of 4 people. That's the person who's going to have the serious advantage.
So, we've seen where this tool came from, we've seen the power it holds, and we've gotten a glimpse of what's possible. The only real question left is, now that you know what these tools can do, what are you going to do with them?